What is going on with ZCash? ZCash used to be the high flyer in 2025, but suddenly it tends to underperform. Is this just profit taking or is something else going on? Have a look at the performance in the last week. Most altcoins are doing pretty well. ZCash is not. Now this is the ZCash price relative to the others market cap. So how is ZCash performing relative to all other altcoins? The rally really started in August of 2025 and accelerated at the end of September of last year. We got a first push of more than 500% and then a second push of another close to 300%. Now the reason for the second push was very different to what happened at the beginning, but more on that in a second. Have a look at the ZCash price over time. This is the rally in 2021. This time we are way higher, but it's not just the price that went up. Have a look at how much the bets on ZCash increased over the same time period. The bets, the open interest, the leverage on ZCash went up much more than the ZCash price. Yes, the ZCash price is closer to the all-time highs, but the open interest, it made a multiple X growth. And so that's fundamentally the problem. There is so much short-term interest in ZCash. People that want to hold ZCash for long, they just buy the spot market. You just buy and hold spot. But if you want to just short-term speculate on ZCash, you're okay to use the perpetual futures market. You're okay to use derivatives. Now, perpetual futures have costs. They do cost quite a bit of funding fees, on average 10% per annum. So it's much cheaper to just buy spot, potentially even finance the spot holdings if you're willing to hold the asset longer term. If you rather want to speculate short term, you want to get in and out of the asset quickly, you want to have very low bid-ask spread, very low transaction fees, then you're going with the perpetual futures. And that's a problem here. The perpetual futures have grown much quicker than the price did. There's much more short-term speculation in the asset now. And that short-term capital is fleeting. In the last 24 hours, we only saw 131 million worth of trading volume on the spot market, but we saw 767 million on the perpetual futures, on the levered bets on ZCash. On chain, it's even less significant. Have a look at this: 9 million worth of trading volume on Near protocol, 36k on the Binance Smart Chain, 120k on Solana. Adding this all up, it's less than 10 million. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, then feel free to give it a like. It will help to spread the word. It will tell the algorithm to show the video to more people. Thank you very much. And even the most active of the liquidity pools on chain, on the Near protocol, with those 9 million, it only has 83 wallets that traded the asset. In other words, this is mainly arbitrage bots. This is not organic trading. The organic price discovery really happens on the levered bets on the price. So many people are betting with leverage on ZCash, and that's very dangerous. It's dangerous that we can get liquidation events that potentially can cascade in both directions. Here we've got the 10th of October. We saw massive liquidations across the board on that day. But have a look at the first part of the rally in ZCash. There were not too many liquidations at the time. The second part of the rally, when ZCash went from $350 all the way to $700, that's where we had a short squeeze. That's where many short investors got liquidated. We also see this in the funding rate. The funding rate was massively negative. So what happened here is that a lot of people were very bearish on ZCash. And then market makers bought up ZEC to squeeze out all of those pessimistic investors. Once everybody got liquidated, or at least the majority, that's when the market makers started to offload some of the ZEC again. That's when the price was able to come down again. And there's a good chance that this will continue. ZEC was great in 2025, but now it tends to be an underperformer. Just have a look at how the derivatives market is pushing the price around. When there was a lot of potential liquidation money to be made, that's when the price crashed. Currently, the market is somewhat balanced, but whenever more people are long than short, whenever a lot of people have their liquidation levels at a certain range, that's where the price then goes. That's then where the market makers push the price to get that sweet liquidation money. By the way, this is from coinglass.com. Simply go to the liquidations tab, select Model 1 or Model 2. I believe Model 2 is a bit better. And then you can look at any chart for short-term price movements. If there's a lot of liquidations to be made, very likely the price moves there in the short term. Now we've talked enough about the short term, we've talked enough about the short-term leverage as well. What about the long term though? We all know how ZCash can move in waves. It used to be at above $800 and then came crashing down to $29. Now ZCash is inflationary, not as much as it used to be, but the market cap nowadays is much higher than it used to be in the 2018 rally. When you plot that market cap chart on a logarithmic scale, we get this here. So now every horizontal line is a 10x from one another. So we see the percentage growth over time. And it's very hard to move an asset in the current market conditions that's already at $8 billion. It seems like those tops align relatively well. And so that's another reason to not be overly optimistic on ZCash right now. I don't yet have a short position on ZCash open, but I'm considering to open one in the future. When I do, I will of course share this here on this channel. I will share this first, of course, with the premium members. A link to premium pops up here on the screen. Thanks for watching. See you next time on YouTube or see you on premium. Cheers.